Hello everyone and happy Memorial Day weekend. Welcome to my weekly meal prep. This week I'm preparing something a little different for you guys than I typically do for my weekly meal prep because I have my son home a lot this week and I want to prepare a delicious low carb, diabetic friendly meal prep dinner, family style, for my family. So today I will be preparing with you guys my taco stuffed zucchini boats. I'll also be preparing my favorite lunch of all time, my crispy chicken cheesy burritos that are also low carb and high protein. And then lastly, I will be preparing with you guys a cherry cobbler fluff that is absolutely to die for. And I'm absolutely here for it and obsessed. So before we get right into it, please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me and my channel out. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for checking me out today. For those who are new, my name's Olivia and I've been a type 1 diabetic for over 20 years. And in that 20 years, I've tried making living with diabetes more enjoyable and more sustainable. And I come here to YouTube to help others do the same. And one of the main ways I plan on doing that is by sharing my weekly meal prep menus because all of my recipes are super simple to follow, super healthy, and anyone can do it. So stick around to the end of the video. It really helps me and my channel out, and let's get right on into it. We are starting off with my favorite lunch of all time. It is my crispy chicken cheesy burritos. So to get started, as I'm sure you could guess, I'm using the Mission Carb Balance burrito shells. They are very large and they come in at 110 calories per serving and only 3 net carbs. So they're pretty large, bigger than my head. They're delicious. I love these. I use these to make burritos all the time. I would say burritos and tortillas are my favorite lunch, breakfast to have, and this has been my go-to lately. And in this burrito features a lot of new things I've tried and some of my favorite products. So to get started, obviously there's chicken in here. And what I use today is the Just Bare chicken tenders, and these are 170 calories per serving, and the serving is 93 grams. So unlike all my other meal prep videos, I'm actually going to be weighing everything up today on my food scale just because I'm trying to tighten up a little bit. I'm trying to do a little bit better. And although I love putting things in my food as my heart would like, I can't really do that because if you know, you know. It's just hard. Anyway, so what I cooked up was I put an air fryer full of my chicken tenders here and I cut them up into little pieces, as you can see right there. And I'm going to throw them in here. So to start, I'm going to take my burrito and throw it on my food scale. And I'm going to first put my hot sauce on there. Now, you can put any hot sauce you'd like. However, this one's my new favorite. I'll zoom in on it. It is actually from Aldi's. It's the Berman's Spicy Garlic Hot Sauce. And it is so, so good. It has a faint garlic flavor. It's super delicious, not too spicy. I highly recommend this one. I know they had a few varieties when I was there looking at them, but this is the one that I really favored the most. So this serving is 5 grams. So I'm going to measure out 5 grams and put that on there, just like so. And now I'm going to weigh up my chicken and throw that on here as well as a slice of cheese. For the cheese today, I'll be using the Velveeta slices. These are low calorie at 35 calories per slice and they melt beautifully. So I love using these in my wraps because once you heat these up, the cheese just melts perfectly to the point where it's almost like a grilled cheese. So first I'll put my cheese down, and then now I'm going to weigh up 93 grams of this chicken and put that. While I'm not the biggest advocate for weighing your food, I do have to admit, once you are used to weighing your food, you never realize how much you're overindulging until you start to see what you are eating, because the amount of chicken on this wrap is like 1/3 of the amount I typically would use, and that's still 170 calories. So that's all set. And next I'm going to use this queso. This is another low-calorie, delicious, cheesy hack. It's the Old El Paso queso. They have a white version and they have the creamy queso. This is only 20 calories per serving for 16 grams. So I'm going to squeeze that on there as well. And while 16 does not sound like it would be a lot, it actually does end up being a good amount of sauce for the 20 calories. And the last thing into this burrito is I am putting some spinach in there. You can put whatever you'd like. I think the spinach is delicious. I also love using mixed greens, and I'm not even tracking this in my calories because it's a green, healthy vegetable. I'm just gonna take a nice hefty handful and throw that on there. And next, I'm gonna show you how I wrap this up. So, to do a nice clean burrito fold, you fold both sides in just like so. And you want to be as tight as humanly possible, just like that. Just like so. So there's my burrito. So I'm going to repeat this recipe quite a few times, and I'm going to grill them on my stovetop, and I'll pop back in to show you what that looks like. But what I'm looking for are nice grill marks on both sides of my burrito, so that way it helps keep that crispy consistency when I go to reheat this in my microwave in a few days. So here I have my 4 burritos all stuffed and ready to go, and then here I have a pan that is at medium heat that I'm just going to spray with some calorie-free cooking oil right there. And I'm going to put these crease size down into the pan, just like so. And one of the reasons I like to do this as well is because it does a good job sealing the burritos up, so that way they don't fall around in my meal prep containers. It kind of does a good job of just sealing the ends to make sure that they are all good to go. So what I will do is I will leave them face down for about a minute and a half, flip them over, and then do the same thing to the other side, pull them out, and then throw them in my meal prep containers. So I'm all done grilling, and you can see they have a nice golden crust on top of them. They are sealed up and good to go. And all I'm gonna do with this is throw into my meal prep containers and into my fridge. And when I'm ready to heat these up during the week, I'm gonna throw them in my microwave for 90 seconds and I'll be good to go. So this week for my meal prep dinner, I thought it would be really nice to do a nice family-sized portion of something delicious. And I was really in the mood for tacos, so I decided to do my taco stuffed zucchini shells. They are delicious, low carb, and it's just like a taco night without the taco shell itself. And it's delicious. I figured it was something that me, my husband, and my 2 kids would all love. So I will pop in now how I get the zucchini going and then pop back in to show you what I do next. Today, I will be using zucchini as my substitution for my taco shells, and to get started, I will be trimming the ends off of the zucchini and slicing them each down the middle. Next, I will be taking a thin spoon and I will be spooning out the insides of the zucchini because if you guessed it, that is exactly where I'll be putting the inside of the taco meat. So next, I will be putting that aside because I will be incorporating the inside of the zucchini into this recipe, and I just want to make sure I have as much cleaned out as humanly possible so when I do throw the zucchini in the oven, they cook more evenly. And I will do this 6 times so that way I have 6 nice zucchini all good and ready to go for my tacos. My 6 zucchini shells are all cleaned out, and next I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees and season the zucchini with salt, pepper, and oil, and I'm going to cook them in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes or until it's a little bit more tender. Obviously, my zucchini's all done. I already baked it off, and now I'm just putting it into my family-sized pan so that way when I am ready to cook it, I can just toss this whole pan in the oven. I'll be good to go. While my zucchini is cooking in the oven, I'm going to take half of an onion and I'm going to dice it up, as well as take that leftover zucchini that you just seen from the video prior from the inside of the zucchini, and I'm going to roughly chop that up as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook that over medium heat on top of the stovetop with my ground beef and my taco seasoning. And the thing with this recipe is you will not even notice the zucchini in it because it's just so well seasoned and hidden in there with the ground beef that your kids won't even notice that there's added vegetables in there, besides the fact, obviously, that it's served in a zucchini shell. So I have my veggies all set and ready to go, and I'm going to take it and throw it onto medium heat with my ground beef. So here we have the ground beef that's all pretty much cooked through, as well as the zucchini and onions. And all I'm going to do is add a packet of taco seasoning. I'm just using the Great Value taco seasoning, but you can use whatever works best for you. And because of all the liquid that was in the zucchini and onions, I'm not adding any liquid to this. I'm just using what's already in the pan. I'm just going to stir it up and make sure that the whole pan is nicely seasoned with that taco seasoning. So I have my pan of zucchini shells as well as my pan of taco meat here and ready to assemble. And as you would imagine, all I'm pretty much doing is pouring my meat mixture right into each little zucchini boat. And when I'm ready to heat this up on cooking day, I will put it into a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. And it will turn out absolutely delicious. And you will not even miss not having those taco shells. Now, I will say one thing, because I know I tried it when I was pregnant, was making freezer meals out of this. And this did not make the best freezer meal just because the zucchini got very watery when I was reheating it. But if you're saving this, it's good for 3 to 4 days in the fridge, and I plan on eating it before then. So now I'm just gonna top it with some reduced fat Mexican cheddar, because you can't have tacos without cheese, and feel free to top with whatever toppings you like. I know the day of serving, I'll chop up some tomato and serve with guacamole and all of that. But for now, this is good to go. And the last thing I'm gonna drizzle on top is the Taco Bell taco seasoning. I just think this adds a nice little bite to the entire dish, but feel free to add whatever toppings you like. So I'll put a lid on this, and I will have a quick and easy and delicious and healthy dinner this week. Last but certainly not least, I am making my cherry cobbler fluff. That is absolutely delicious and diabetic friendly, 0 added sugar, and I love it. So I'm excited to share this one with you guys today. All it is 4 ingredients, very simple. And if you've seen some of my other meal prep videos, you know that I love working with the Cool Whip sugar-free because it's lower calorie, it is low sugar, obviously, and it really makes for a decadent, indulgent treat. So I'm making 8 servings today, and each serving is 165 calories. So I'm going to start by dumping this whole container into a bowl. And I'm telling you, this is the absolute easiest recipe of all time. As in, like, I could probably give this recipe to my toddler and he would even be able to figure it out. It's just the easiest thing. The next thing I'm putting in is this cherry pie filling. It is from Walmart. It is the Great Value brand. It's a 0 added sugar cherry pie filling. They also have an apple flavor that's delicious, but I've been craving cherries lately, probably because it's Memorial Day weekend and we're in the summer feels. So I'm using cherry today. Yes, this does have red number 40, so don't be triggered by it. It's delicious. I have a hard time with diabetic things sometimes just because I understand that diet things aren't always the best. I know they add ingredients in there that are not always the healthiest. However, I can't have sugar. So I'm willing to deal with some things so I can enjoy life. So I'm going to take this whole jar and dump that right on in there. And then for my last ingredient in the fluff, I'm going to take my Jell-O cheesecake pudding mix, and I'm going to dump the whole packet on in here. This is another ingredient that I just love. And what it does, it makes the Cool Whip a lot thicker and more of an ice cream consistency. Now, if you're more into ice cream or you want a cooler treat, you can put this in the freezer and it will freeze on up like ice cream and it will be delicious as well. But personally, my favorite way to eat this is just keeping it in my fridge and enjoying just like so. So I'm going to stir this fluff up and it will thicken up in time due to the Jell-O mixture. And as you can see, it's a beautiful pink cherry color. I'm going to get my 8 little containers ready. And to top this off, I'm going to use graham crackers. I took a whole sleeve of them, about 8 crackers, and I smushed them into little tiny pieces. I feel like graham crackers are the most underrated ice cream topping, and they're probably one of my favorite ice cream toppings as well. I just find the consistency so delicious, and it reminds me of pie. You know, pie with a graham cracker crust, it's delicious. So when I wanted to make this, I thought that graham crackers would be a great topping. Another great topping I would imagine would be white chocolate chips. If you want to get the white chocolate chips, I know that Walmart also sells the no sugar added white chocolate chips. I believe the brand is Bake Believe, or you could also do Lily's. Can't go wrong either way. And I'm just going to take this mixture and evenly distribute it between my little containers that I do purchase off Amazon. I love these as well. It just makes life so much easier. I know it's not eco-friendly or what have you, but in this stage of life that I'm in with 2 little children, convenience just always wins for me. So the last little bit, and I'm going to toss that right in the last one. I'm like, what a quick and easy diabetic friendly dessert. It took me all of like, what, 2 minutes to make. It looks scrumptious. Yum. And then now I'm just going to take these graham cracker pieces and I'm just going to pop that on top of each one, just like so. And another thing I love about graham crackers is they will soften up a little bit because of the moisture in the fluff. But I actually personally love that like kind of like mushy consistency. Now, if you're not into that mushy consistency, you can obviously wait to put these graham cracker bits until you're just about to eat it. So that way it keeps its crunch. But me personally, I like the mush. So here we go, all good to go. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of this video and making it through my entire meal prep video this week. I hope you guys got some great inspiration for you and your family for your meal prep. And please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I try to post weekly meal prep videos on my channel every single weekend. And I also try to keep other great diabetic content on my channel to help others out. So please give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next week in another weekly meal prep menu. Now, if there's anything you guys specifically want to see on my channel when it comes to my meal prep videos, please let me know because I'd be more than happy to oblige. See you next week. Bye.